Hello, everybody. It's me, Winston, from PerfecPress HTV. How's everyone doing today? If you have any comments or anything, please feel free to comment. Today we're going to be going over how to do hats. So I got a bunch of hats over here. I'm going to be doing hats, and we're going to be talking all about making faux patches with sublimation and twill and putting them on the hats, and also doing something cool on the underneath side of the hat. Today's is going to be a little bit more advanced, so if you're a rookie, feel free to pay attention, but we might do some things, so feel free to ask a lot of questions. If we do something you don't recognize, I'll try to explain the best I can, and we're going to have a lot of fun today. So let's get started. So can you all see my laptop right now on the screen? Y'all on Instagram, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to, but all you on Facebook and YouTube, can you see my laptop? So we're going to get started. We're going to open GraphText Studio. Ooh, let me just pop that open. Okay. And we're going to start a new one. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to make patches. The patches are going to be for a hat. And it's going to be for these hats. We got these over at Alpha Broder. They're just some real cheap polyester trucker hats. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a patch. First things first, we're going to put in our size of twill, which is 12 by 15, into our software. And then let's go to Google and find a patch image that we like. So I was looking up cows earlier. Here's a cute cow. So all we're going to simply do is we're going to copy the image and we're going to paste it into our GraphText Studio software. Paste. You notice it has an outline or a black box around it. To get rid of that, we're going to go to Bitmap. All right, select it. Go to Bitmap, click Make Transparent, then click on the area you want to disappear. Right now, oops, it is wanting to select more than it needs to, so we can turn down the tolerance. Let's turn that down to 12 and see if that helps. That helped a lot. We're going to hit the green check mark. That blows out that black background, and now we're going to go to Effects, Contour Cut. Contour Cut's going to put a cut line around the whole entire cow. We're going to look at that. I like to zoom in, make sure it makes sense. And I like how that looks, so I'm going to hit green check mark. And then the next step we're going to do is I'm going to size it. So I'm going to click on my sizing control. And for a hat, we have a hat right here. Let's measure it. So on a hat, you have about 3 inches of height that is a pressing area, and then about 5 inches width that you can easily press with. So on my design, I want to make sure it's within those parameters. So with this little cute cow I'm working on, I'm going to drop him down to be 2.75 tall. And that kept in proportion makes its width 3.78, so that will fit within that 3:5 ratio. So I got a cute little cow here. So the next step, what you're going to do is you're going to want to add registration marks. So when you send it to print, it'll know what to read. So here we go. We're going to add registration marks. The way you do that in GraphText is you're going to go to Effect, Contour Cut Mark. I like the GraphText 4-point Type 2. And then I like to go to Options and make that margin about 3.85 of an inch. We hit OK, and then hit the green check mark. Now we have a cow with registration marks. This will allow us to print it and our vinyl cutter to read the registration marks and perfectly cut out the design. Before I go on, do we have any questions or any comments? YouTube, if you are on our Instagram and want to check out what's going on the screen, our YouTube is simply PerfectPressHTV.com. Our YouTube is a playback, so after this is over, this will be available to rewatch as many times as you want on YouTube, and it'll show what's going on our computer screen. If you want to see what's going on live right now on my computer screen, it is on our Facebook page, PerfectPressHTV at Facebook. You don't even have to have a Facebook account. If you just type in PerfectPressHTV Facebook, it will come up. You can watch us there as well. Any other questions or anything? No? All right, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay? Is everything good? Good to hear. So for our next step, I had already prepared one of these, so let me open him up. So I made a few patches doing the exact same technique I just showed, and I select them all and put them all underneath the registration marks. I had sent this to print to our Sawgrass printer, and I'll do so again just to show y'all. So you're going to go File, Print, hit Yes. So we're going to go to Sawgrass Print Manager, have that selected. You're going to go to Properties, select the paper size. Today we were using 13 by 19. You're going to hit OK. A big important thing is right here, if you see on the computer screen where it says Scale, you always want to make sure it's at 100%. You don't want it being shrunk down or made larger in any sort of way. That causes a lot of problems for folks where they'll have it set to fit drawn to paper or fit border to paper, and it causes a lot of issues. Always make sure your scale is set to 100% when you're printing, and you won't have any problems. After that, you set OK, and then it's going to send it to the print manager. So you're going to give it a moment on your computer to load up the print manager, and the print manager will pop up. If you can see my laptop right now, you see it has popped up. They can see it, right, Abby? Cool. So right now the print manager is popped up, and then you're going to just double check your settings, make sure it's mirrored. I like to keep, if it's not a photograph, my color mode vivid. And if everything looks good to go, you're going to send it to print. So I just sent it to print. Once it's printed, we're going to come over to a heat press. Here's our heat press friend. Once you have it on a heat press, you're going to set your heat press to 400 degrees. Today we're using the Hotronix Max Series 15 by 15 heat press. You're going to take a piece of twill and your sublimation printout. Here is my sublimation patch printout, like from I just made. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sublimate the twill. The secret to sublimating twill is you want to press it with just enough contact, but not really pressure, to overly activate the glue on the twill. So the way that's going to work is you're going to take your heat press and you're going to lower the pressure pretty much all the way, and then slowly tighten it up when it's locked down till it feels finger tight, like so. Then I usually like to pop it and give it like a quarter turn more. And that usually gets me just right for twill. If you have a swing away heat press that isn't a clam, you can have it just kind of lay on top of it, not lock it down. That tends to give it just perfect pressure. But if you have a clamshell heat press, do what I did. Loosen all the way and slowly tighten it till it's tight on the plan, and then give it a quarter turn more. From there, you're going to take your sheet of twill, place it twill side up, glue side down. You're going to take your sublimation sheet. You're going to put it on your twill, make sure it's right in the middle. Try to get it nice and straight. And then we're going to take some parchment paper, silicone paper, Teflon, something to keep it from bleeding up on the top. Put it over on top there, and then we're going to press it for 400 degrees for 60 seconds. Like so. It's going to steam a bunch. That's okay. It's sublimating. Any comments, concerns, questions? How many viewers are we at? 3? 6, yes. So here it goes. So after we pull this, it's going to be kind of melty. So we're going to immediately move it to a cold table, such as ours right here, and give it some moving around and keep it from wrinkling, and try to be as straight as possible without messing up our vinyl. You see me still? So we got 10 seconds left on our heat press. All right, here it goes. I'm going to pop it. We're going to pull away our sublimation sheet. Put it to the side. We'll put it over here. And now we're going to take our twill and move it quickly over to a cool table and try to keep it nice and flat so it doesn't wrinkle out too much. Look how vibrantly that's sublimated, y'all. Really nice. I'm just moving it around the table so it sucks up some of the coolness and gets rid of some of the heat so it's not all liquid. And there we go. That is adequately cooled down. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our twill over to our Graphtec cutter. And we're going to load it in. Ooh, wiggled on me. Let me put that back. There we go. We're going to hit sheet because we're using only a sheet. So here's the big thing with Twill. Twill's tough to cut on a single pass. You really got to send it through multiple times. My settings today on the Twill is going to be a slower speed of 25 and a force of 19. And I'm going to set my cut head in the registration marks just like we do with dark garment papers, like so. Now I'm going to go back to my computer. Woo. Here are my patches already set up. I'm going to select them, send it for a contour cut. Now one thing I want to do before I send it to go is I want to go over down to passes, and I'm going to set that to 4. That sounds crazy, a 4 pass, but for Twill, it really makes it cut a lot nicer if you send it through multiple times like that. So I'm doing 4 passes through to cut this Twill real smooth. And now we're going to hit send, y'all. Hit OK. So it's reading the registration marks. And it is cutting the Twill out. Twill's, again, a very hard to cut vinyl. If you're using like a Cameo or a Cricut, you might have a real hard time cutting it. They do all right cutting Twill, but sometimes they don't have the cleanest cut lines with it. Best thing to do though is just send it through multiple times. Tends to cut it as best quality as possible. Really the best way to cut Twills with a laser cutter because it'll kind of seal the edges while it cuts it. But the Graphtec does a great job if you take your time and find the perfect settings for your home cutter. Any questions, comments, concerns? So while that cuts and finishes up, what I did beforehand was I measured our hat for the bottom bill section, because we're going to also sublimate that section to go along with the hat. So these measure out on this hat to be about a little under 7.5 across, and then from the longest point of the hat, right around 5.5 for the whole bill. So what we're going to do, we're going to create an 8 by 5.5 square for a design and send it to our sublimation printer. I've already done so. It's as simple as making just squares of your designs. So today's patches, we got 2 Van Halen ones, American flag, and a cow one. So I pre-printed some 5 by 8 and 8 by 5 squares for those. And our Twill should be done. Ooh, one already popped out. So there's one. And you should be able to flick them out if you did it right. They should come right out. There's another. There's another. And whoo, there's another. So now we have some pretty nice looking Twill patches that we could put on jackets, hats, anything we wanted. So today we're going to put it on a hat. So let's do a Van Halen hat. Van Halen recently passed away, and my father and I were big fans of Van Halen. So Christmas coming up, this would be a cool gift to give to a Van Halen fan. So I want to cut out one of these 5 by 7 squares, like so. And I'm going to use heat tape. And I'm going to tape this 5 by 7 square to the bottom of this hat. Like, make sure you have a little bit of a bleed around. Press there. Press there. Put a good amount of tape to keep it nice and steady down. There we go, y'all. Just like that. And now we're going to do something cool. We're going to go over to our Hot Trunks heat press. And I'm going to change out the plan. So, whoop, let me go past here. We're going to pop off the plan. And we're going to use the hat bill plan. So the hat bill plan is real cool. To test it, we're going to grab a blank hat that doesn't have sublimation sheet on it. We're going to put it down like so. So see how the hat, hi camera, you see me? So see how the hat's like this? We're going to put it down into the hat bill press and just make sure it has decent pressure. So that's too much. So we're going to lower it. There we go. That feels pretty good there. Hat looks good. We're good to go. So I'm going to grab my hat that has my sublimation print, like so. And now I'm going to cover it with my silicone paper, hold it in space, and we're going to press for 60 seconds, 400 degrees. Make sure everything's nice and straight. Lock that down. So here we go, 60 seconds, 400 degrees, and it's going to be dyeing the bottom of the hat. While that gets ready, these kind of hats have a plastic center. So you want to be careful, whoop, and get yourself to something to remold or reform it when it pops out. So I got myself one of the plans for the hat press to reform that bill. You'll see what I mean here in a moment. So here's our hat press. We got about 20, 30 seconds left. And again, these patches are so cute. They're so fun, so easy to make. Any questions, comments, concerns, encouragement? All right. Here it goes. We're going to pop it. We're going to take it. We're going to rip away our sublimation sheet. And then we're going to take this and just hold it in place to reform that bill. Again, it's kind of hot and melty, so you don't want to press too hard. You'll leave thumbprints into it. It doesn't take too long for it to reset up. You want to hold it so it's reforming to that bill. Whew. Drank a lot of coffee this morning, everyone. My heart's like... All right. Let's pull off that extra tape. Look how cool that bottom is, y'all. So we got that classic Van Halen stripe pattern on the bottom there. So now let's put that patch we made a minute ago on top of it. So you have your twill patch. It should, if you did it right, still have the backing. You're going to peel away that backing to show a sticky layer. It'll peel for me. There we go. And it's sticky, so you can kind of place it where you want to see how it'll look and adjust it before you go to heat press it. Give it a look. That looks pretty straight to me. Be a little more adjusting. Pretty straight looking. Looks good. Once you have it the way you want, you want to take it over to your hat press. So right here we have the Max Series hat press from Hottronics. We're going to be pressing this twill at 315 for about 15 to 20 seconds. I go a little bit longer on twill because it's thicker to really make sure it's heated up. You're going to take some parchment paper to protect it. You also want to get yourself a small pillow or like a sponge or something. So oftentimes with hat presses, you put a hat on it. You have this sort of pushy area. You don't want that. They sell different plans, but not all the times the plans are a perfect fit for every hat. So I found the best way to remedy and get the best results with hats is stick a sponge or a little pillow underneath there, like so. And that'll give you a much nicer finish on your hats. Whoop. There we go. We're going to lock that down. Again, we're going to cover it, but we don't need this whole sheet, so I'm going to just cut out a sliver. Just to cover that patch we're doing. There we go. And again, we're going to press it at about 315 for 20 seconds. Sure it's nice and in there. And it goes. Any comments, questions? All right. Do we have viewers? All right. 5, 4, and here it goes. Now that sheet popped out for us. Take away that. Look at that, cool Van Halen hat. We got a nice patch, a nice underneath section. It's cool enough to wear to the NASCAR race, man. Let's do another, just for those who are logging in just now catching it out. But, real cool hat. Real fun, real easy. So let's do the cow one for those who like cows. So we're going to take our cow print that we printed out as a 5x8 like earlier. And we're going to cut it out with scissors. Like so. We're going to take our hat and we're going to line it up on the paper. Just like last time. Tape it down. We don't need a laptop anymore. I'll close that screen so y'all can see my hands better. Go. There we go. Again, we're going to take it over to our hat bill. We're going to cover it. We're going to press it for 60 seconds, 400 degrees. Oh. So I recently got a email about concern where they noticed they got a heat press new and they were like, my heat press isn't staying hot. It keeps on varying. I asked her to send me a video and it was varying between 400 degrees, 402 degrees, and 397 degrees. If it's within 15 degrees variance, you're okay to go, folks. It's not going to cause a huge problem. If it's like 20 to 30 degree variance, that's showing there might be a more serious problem. But it's okay, especially during winter time, that your heat press varies a little bit. That's normal. It's just heating up and cooling down a little bit, heating up, cooling down a little bit. It's okay though. Nothing to be concerned about. Got 15 seconds left. 10 seconds left, I mean. My hair is a mess. It is hard to get a haircut during COVID season, man. There we go. Woo! So, we're going to peel this away, and we're going to take it over to this form to reform it while it's still hot so we don't get a bunch of waves or thumbprints or anything in it. Reshape that bill. Give it a little shake so it cools down maybe a little faster. Oh, there we go. So now we got that nice kind of classic cow print underneath. We're going to take our cow patch we just made. Going to put it on the front of our hat. Make sure it's nice and straight. And the great thing about these twill patches is if you do them right, they will stay sticky on the back so you can just kind of place them where you want them before you heat press it. We got a nice little cow with the cow underneath. And now we're going to cover it again. Let's use that small little sheet we used last time. We're going to use the pillow to fill out that bottom. Stick that pillow in there. Take it over to our hat press. Lock it in. Cover our guy. Hello, Mr. Cow. And we're going to heat press them again for about 20 seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? No. A lot of people saying hi. Hi, everybody. We'll pop that open. Woo. Ooh, take that out. And look how cute he is. Oh, my mom's going to love it. So that's 2 real fun and easy hats using the Twill vinyl. All right, any questions, comments, or anything, anyone? Cool, well, that was it. I'm going to do one more. We already did a Van Halen one. Let's do this American flag one. And if you have any questions or concerns, peep in. If not, we'll finish this last hat up and call it a day. So again, y'all, what you're going to do is you're going to take it over to your hat press. Hit that button. So you're going to take it over. You're going to take your American flag. Now let's think how we want our American flag. It's going to be this way. So that means the American flag's that way from looking down. Or we could put it this way. It's the American flag when you look at it. You could sublimate directly to it, but the patch looks so much more better. Like, look how cool that patch looks. You could sublimate directly to it, but it won't give you that almost more professional embroidery sort of look.
So you were going for embroidery?
Yeah. So let us tape it down. And if you didn't have a white hat, you couldn't really sublimate it either. This twill method will work on almost all colors. Well, all colors. So we're going to press that and give it a go. Make sure it's nice and tight. All right. Again, that's going to take about 45 more seconds. Any comments, questions? No? Okay. Clean up your workspace, makes it easier to find things. Got about 25 seconds left. The cool thing about the twill patches, you can put them on polos, jackets, hoodies, anything really. I really like them on jackets. I think they look really sharp when they're done right. And here we go. We're going to pop it. Going to remove that. We're going to remove our. I'm going to take it over to this to reshape the bill. Rewind the video. We showed that in the beginning. If you want to see how to make the patches, we did that at the start. Just do a little rewind. Yes, John, it is thick like a patch, and we sell it here at PerfecPress HTV. We sell it, it's called Twill. You're going to look for it under Twill. We're just holding it to reform that bill because it is kind of a melted plastic cut right out of the heat press. There it goes. Look at that nice looking flag underneath there. So now let's add that flag patch we made earlier. Here's the flag patch. Again, we made the patches at the start of this video. If you want to see it, just rewind. Peel out the backing. Great thing about Twill, it's got that sticky back. So we're going to put that sticky back on there. Make sure we like how it's placed. I want to place it a little taller. So, look at that. So now we're going to heat press it into place. Again, remember, if you put it straight on a hat press, sometimes there's extra puff underneath there and it's not enough to give it good, adequate pressure. So you might want to stick a foam or a pillow or something underneath it. Now this actual plan is probably the right size for this, so I'm fine. But if you don't have the right one, use a pillow or some foam. Or I've even used a sponge before. Again, 300 degrees or 315 for 20 seconds on that patch, and I'll seal it to the hat. And you can do a whole sheet with the Twill. I only did 4 patches, but I've done a whole sheet with like 50 patches on it. So you can do a lot more if you wanted to. And here we are, y'all. Look at that. Real fun. So here we did a Van Halen hat, American flag hat, and a cute cow hat for those who love cows. Again, this was done using Sublimation, Twill, and some real cheap trucker hats from Alpha Broder. Real fun, easy project to make a really nice, pretty professional looking hat that is kind of unique. And again, sublimation will work on all your light colors. So this will work on your light browns, your light grays, your light pinks, your baby blues. But white does work best. Any last minute questions or anything? Well, good. Great, y'all. This was a fun craft. Tune in on Friday. We're going to be going over our upcoming Black Friday sale. Huge, probably our biggest sale ever. We're going to be kind of just going through some of the material that's going to be available and showing some crafts that you can do with the material that's going to be on sale. And yeah, and then next week we'll have even more fun. So again, like and subscribe to us on YouTube. That's where we have all the playbacks of our videos, and they're uploaded in a higher resolution than what is live. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. One last chance for questions or comments. Anything? All right, everybody. Wonderful. Good seeing y'all. We'll see you again on Friday. Thank you.